Alright, what's up guys? Let's talk about the altcoins today. Now, what is an altcoin? Well, since we already know what the big B is, Bitcoin, it's basically anything that isn't Bitcoin. So, let's run through the top 10 on CoinMarketCap as of, what's the date? October 12th, 2018. Alright, so the top 10 we got starting out is Ethereum. Ethereum is a platform-based blockchain ecosystem in which, if you imagine Bitcoin being the silver, no, not Bitcoin, Bitcoin being the gold, Litecoin being the silver, Ethereum is the steel. A lot of coins are built off of that. A lot of ICOs, which we'll delve into a little more in another video, are run off Ethereum because Ethereum allows for to basically have like ICO tokens run off their chain in a form of an ERC20 token, which allows for a lot of finances to be raised so they can fund the building of the actual platform in which they're creating. Another thing Ethereum's pretty good at is smart contracts. Smart contracts are basically contracts but in a blockchain format, to where it's a trustless system. Basically, if you have this aspect to it and this aspect to it, and you can define whatever aspect you want, and as long as it meets the criteria, the transaction or whatever goes on in the contract will be fulfilled. But enough about Ether. Let's go to the next one, which is XRP, or what some people used to call Ripple, but that's not the case. The XRP token is a platform created by Ripple Labs, which is a private company that creates a lot of payment processing platforms for numerous whatever reasons that you want to process payments in better or different ways depending on what your organization, company, or your personal needs are. So let's discuss XRP. The XRP token is it's not a mined currency. There's no work behind it. It's an issued currency. And in the private markets, there are about 40% of the Ripple tokens that are in like a bunch of exchanges like, Binance, HitBTC, Bittrex, and numerous other ones, but that's neither here nor there. So why I mentioned only 40% is in circulation, more or less, is that 60% of the tokens are held by Ripple Labs. And why that is a big deal is because the currency is designed to be a decentralized currency, but with them having total control of most of the coin supply and them being the creators, they can basically freeze and manipulate your stake in the ecosystem, whereas a lot of other coins can't really do that because it's a decentralized crypto coin currency system, whatever you want to call it, for the people. But what's beneficial to Ripple or the XRP token, is it's specifically designed for banks. So they have quick transactions. Last time I checked, they have about 1,500 transactions per second, which far blows away any other like big name currency out there, really. I mean, EOS claims they can do certain things, but we'll get to that. So, why Ripple is quote unquote a decentralized currency is they have this. It's built with the same technology of a cryptocurrency. They have validators all around the globe, and anybody can jump on. It's open source. You can validate. You can become a part of the Ripple community, and so on. But let's get to the next one. We have Bitcoin Cash. Now, Bitcoin Cash is fast, it has low fees, it's stable, and why it all does that is because they have an 8 megabyte block size, which is 8 times larger than Bitcoin, which is what allows them to have low fees and quicker transaction times, because one, the network's not as bogged down due to it having more capacity to fit more transactions in a certain period of time. And why it's stable is because they basically stole the name Bitcoin. So there's always going to be newcomers getting into the crypto world being like, oh, Bitcoin Cash, which one's the real one? I mean, we all know who the real one is. It's got to be obvious, but people playing tricks on themselves, they're always going to get fooled into being like, oh, Bitcoin Cash, they're going the route of what Satoshi wanted. Satoshi is the creator of the white paper, not necessarily the creator of Bitcoin. But, so people will get, I wouldn't say confused. I guess a better word is they more or less steal the emotional value of Bitcoin. You know what I'm saying? So, but we'll dive into that a little more in the other videos and stuff. So the next coin we have is, as I mentioned, the silver to Bitcoin being gold, which is Litecoin. Litecoin is it's not a fork or copy of Bitcoin. It's more or less a clone. And what I mean by clone is, yeah, it takes some of the similar technology and like blockchain-based fashion in which they designed it. However, they have a more sleeker design code base and a different mining algorithm, which allows it to process more transactions and basically be quicker and more reliable without adding any modifications to the code. And another thing that Litecoin has that makes it quicker, more reliable, and like more just like more of a scalable currency is that it has faster block generation, and it's already added SegWit, and it already is Lightning Network capable, I believe. But we haven't really got to see or test or really have any, like us like normal guys haven't really gotten a taste of the Lightning Network yet. But we'll get into that in another video. But basically, it's a second layer which adds quicker transactions, which won't be limited to the nature of blockchain, which is, yeah, it's automated democracy. However, we all know democracy, it's slow. But let's get on to the next coin. The next coin is, let's check. The next coin is EOS. EOS is very similar to Ethereum in a way. However, it's more user-friendly because it has, you don't have to learn the coding language which was specifically designed for Ethereum, which is Solidity. And with EOS, you have other coding languages like C++, JavaScript, and so on, like the big regular ones that a lot of people use. And why that is usable is those coding languages have a lot of already used code that's been proven. So you can basically take library code, which has already been used, tested, proven, and improved upon, to basically copy and paste and make your coin on a different network a lot quicker. So it's more new user friendly, but if you have the knowledge and capability, you'd rather probably put your coin on Ethereum because it has that one coding language, but you can get all the little aspects that you want to do whatever. And that's basically what EOS is. They've advertised that they can do instant and quicker transactions, which turned out to not be the case, but nevertheless they are a blockchain ecosystem that is less bogged down by, you know, like what Ethereum's been like. It's been less bogged down by a lot more transactions and usability since it's so new, whereas Ethereum's been around for a while, so everybody knows it. It has the same emotional value similar to Bitcoin, and yeah, it's just, it is what it is. It's a new coin. Not many people use it that much. But let's get on to Stellar. Stellar is similar to the XRP token. However, it's a little different. It's slightly more decentralized and less like aimed toward bank style transactions. It's more or less, they kind of like, it's kind of like creative business word spinning, to where they're slightly more decentralized and have less central control from the core group of developers, but they've kind of split off from the XRP token, which by nature is a centralized institutional finance payment platform, but they're trying to spin it in a way to where it's used for more of the people. But you know, it's creative marketing, and it's more or less a similar ecosystem, if you get what I mean. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. But let's move on to let's move on to another stable coin. And why I use stable loosely and in quotes is because Tether is a coin that's tethered to the dollar. And why I put stable in quotes is, if it's tethered to the dollar, ask why you're getting into crypto to begin with. You know? So that's all that really needs to be said about that. It's just a stable coin to the dollar. It inflates just like the dollar. They add more supply to the network, which is very questionable. But if you want to, it used to be a lot of people used to have the understanding that if you sold into Tether but you didn't like sell like on Coinbase or whatever into the dollar, like it would be a, you would be tax-free. However, it's the same asset class, so the taxation laws and kind of like getting around that whole thing is not as doable as previously thought. So it's just it's a profitable coin on top of the market. It's not profitable. It's a large market cap coin on the high end of coin market cap, which we'll get into in another video. However, it's just, what's the point? You're not going to make any money off of it, so why even try? And it's not like you're not getting around the whole taxable thing, so you might as well just sell into the dollars if you want to do that, or just sell into more stable coin. But we'll get into trading in another video. So next one, Cardano. Cardano is just like Ethereum and EOS, where they are a platform for other coins to be built off of. However, they have a different approach, and their different approach is they have a lot of academic and like well thought out scientific method style of making the perfect bulletproof code, to where they're advertising like quicker transactions and more scalability and more ability to have things like built on top of it and hold the weight of the crypto world on top of them. But when they're going, they are like, bulletproof code is good in theory, and I mean that's what they use to have like you've never heard of any drone or like a military drone and or any other unmanned aircraft getting hacked, right? So they're going the same approach of having the perfect code, like just like no just any possible penetration testing that they can do to alleviate the ability of having their network being attacked. They're trying, and they put a lot of time into it. Like, I think, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure Cardano started in 2015, or at least building it, and they probably started the concept like a lot earlier. But they're like, their ecosystem, like, and their own personal chain hasn't come out till like 2017 or like 2018. You can go to their website to find the exact dates. I'll put a link in the description for all these coins. However, the issue on the thinking of creating bulletproof code is that it's bulletproof as of right now. So unless they are building systems on top of that to alleviate any like any attack and like basically absorb it and have like self-protecting code, there's a, I mean, logically thinking about that, it's, you gotta make your own decisions on what you think about that. But to me personally, I think that's just not a good thing to do logically, and you're only getting a certain amount of time. So unless that thinking is aligned with their goals, who cares? But we're all trying to make money, and in the short term, Cardano sure will. It's a big name. It's got that emotional value in the market already, so pay attention. But last one, let's get to Monero. Monero is one of the OG privacy coins. It's been around almost as long as Litecoin has, and it's just got a lot of weight in the market. Like, it's been used, tested. They haven't had really any hacks or like issues that have really, bring them down. So they're number 10 on the market cap. So they got to be doing something right. And here's why they've been in the market so long. So what they use for privacy is ring signatures. But let's debate the whole let's get a little more clear on what I mean by privacy. So for all blockchains and cryptocurrencies are private. Why I say that in quotes is, yeah, you have an address that's created by a cryptographic algorithm or whatever, but if you use the same address over and over and over again for certain transactions that are shipped, if you use that to like buy something on Amazon or buy something on Expedia, and you put your name with that address, how private is that? Like, yeah, they can't be like, oh, like John Smith or Javon James put this like like bought this here. But if they keep finding a consistent address and you don't want to keep making a new address and like getting a new private key, which we'll get into in another video, privacy it gets lost. And on top of that, the IRS has been tracking Bitcoin since 2015. So if you've been using a similar address since then, it's beyond a reasonable doubt that someone knows that that address is linked to you. So when we say privacy, that's not the total package of being a stealthy person in the crypto and financial world, right? So what do we need? We need anonymity. And this is where Monero comes in. Monero uses ring signatures and stealth addresses. Now, like I said before, I'll put a link in the description so you can get more details on how the technical aspects work, but I'll give you a little bit right now. Ring signatures are basically, so for every one transaction, they send a ring of 5 transactions along with that transaction. So on top of having 5 transactions being sent, and like a hacker or whatever that's trying to hack your wallet sift through each one, or anybody who's trying to track your financial wheelings and dealings on each one, they have to sift through 5 different transactions and only one of them is correct. Keep in mind, numerous people are sending transactions, so 20% of the transactions on the Monero network are real or less. Like, I don't know the specifics. Like I said, I'll put a link in the description. You can do your own research. I recommend you do your own research. Don't trust someone's interpretation of information. Let them guide you to where you want to go, and that's what I'm here to help you with. So, with on top of ring signatures, they obfuscate all the transactions. So imagine like it's just like those balls in the bingo machine. You know when you see in the movies like all them old people playing bingo and that young person going like, you know, you never know which transaction you're gonna get when they keep tumbling it in a node or whatever, or yeah, they would obfuscation so it's whoever. A node is someone who processes transactions. So all those nodes that would be all the transactions that would be tumbled inside that node's processing time or period or whatever will help make it even more difficult to find your specific transaction. And on top of that, with the whole privacy thing, they use stealth addresses. What could be more perfect than that, man? Nothing like, if you want private and anonymous transactions, Monero is it's a very tested player in the game, and even the NSA is mining Monero and using that. So say what you will about privacy, they got it. Alright guys, I appreciate you watching this. Have a like, subscribe, and if you don't like it, don't be a dick. Tell me what I did wrong, what you don't like, so I can improve upon. You know, like, I'm just here to help you guys out, giving you what I know. I've been in the space for some time. I've been researching it for crypto for a while. You know, like, I love it. Everybody loves, like, you know, who doesn't love, like, just a technological improvement in the world? Like, don't you want to just help and make the world a better place? Like, it's, like, crypto's just gonna do so many great things. It's gonna, if you get in early, it's gonna make you money. If you get in late, you get quicker transactions. So just get in early and you get two out of a million things that could help you. I mean, there's a positive and negative everything, but we'll get into that in another video. I don't want to drone on too long. Thanks for watching, guys.